Bonjour, c'est aujourd'hui le 24 août 2011, mercredi. Today is the 24th of August 2011, Wednesday. I'll be reading the article in English today. Those of you learning French, I will have the translations for you. Hurricane Irene, Category 3. Hurricane Irene intensified into a Category 3 storm Wednesday, threatening much of the United States East Coast in the coming days. Irene could reach Category 4 strength by Thursday, the National Hurricane Center said. The storm had maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour as of 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and is expected to strengthen in the next day or so, the National Hurricane Center said Wednesday morning. This is a huge storm, said CNN Meteorologist Jacqui Jeras. The cloud field is more than 800 miles across. The tropical storm force winds extend out 200 miles from the center. The storm could threaten large sections of the Eastern Seaboard from the Carolinas northward through the Northeast. The strengthening, which officially made Irene a major hurricane, came as the storm continued to pound the southeastern Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands. Irene's eye was over Crooked Island as of the Hurricane Center's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time advisory. It was moving toward the northwest near 12 miles per hour. Now, what we'll do is we will go over some of the expressions in the article. On va réviser quelques expressions de l'article. We will begin by the phrase maximum sustained winds. So maximum sustained winds would be des vents soutenus maximaux. Remember that your adjectives ending in al, when they are masculine plural, will become aux. So maximal, because vent is masculine plural, des vents maximaux, des vents soutenus maximaux. And so then you'll have the al changing into aux. So you have maximum sustained winds in English, in French, des vents soutenus maximaux. Des vents soutenus maximaux. To strengthen. To strengthen is, in French, gagner en force. La tempête gagnera en force. It will strengthen. Gagner en force is to strengthen with regard to a storm. And in English, once again, we say to strengthen. The adjective is strength, rather the noun, I'm sorry. The noun is strength, and so the verb is to strengthen. So you're going to have strength being la force, and to strengthen, gagner en force for a storm. Now let's say, for example, you wanted to say that when you work out with weights, you become stronger. Then you would say devenir plus fort. On devient plus fort, plus musclé, plus puissant. Stronger in that way. But for a storm, it will be gagner en force. The storm will strengthen. La tempête gagnera en force. Then we have the words cloud field, which in French is translated just about the same. A field in French is un champ, and cloud is nuage, and so we would say le champ nuageux est plus de 800 miles d'un bout à l'autre. And le champ nuageux est plus de 800 miles because you have a number. Normally, when you compare, you will have plus que or moins que. But when you have numbers, it will be plus de and moins de. So you have le champ nuageux est plus de 800 miles d'un bout à l'autre. The cloud field is more than 800 miles across. Then we have the verbal phrase, extend out. The tropical storm force winds extend out 200 miles. We have the word extend. If we take the X out, we have étend. And so you just make it reflexive, s'étendent. Les vents s'étendent à 200 miles du centre. Les vents s'étendent à 200 miles du centre. S'étendre is to extend, to stretch, if you will. To stretch in terms of yawning would be s'étirer, but in this particular sense it would be s'étendre. So to extend, they extend 200 miles from the center. They extend out, ils s'étendent à 200 miles du centre. The next thing that I'd like to bring your attention to is that it could threaten from the Carolinas northward through the northeast. Threaten in French is menacer. Ça pourrait menacer. Depuis les Carolines vers le nord, depuis les Carolines, from the Carolinas, vers le nord, toward the north or northward, jusque dans les états du nord-est, through the northeast or into the northeast. So, depuis les Carolines, vers le nord, jusque dans les états du nord-est. Notice when I say nord-est, I don't pronounce the D. You spell it N-O-R-D as in David, dash E-S-T. But in French, the spelling being N-O-R-D, trait d'union E-S-T, that particular word, when it's spoken, the D is not pronounced. So you would say le nord-est, as though the D were not there. So you would say jusque dans les états du nord-est. And in English, of course, it would be from the Carolinas northward through the northeast. Depuis les Carolines vers le nord, jusque dans les états du nord-est. The strengthening of the storm, l'intensification de la tempête. The strengthening of the storm. The strengthening. Once again, strength is a noun, and here we're using the strengthening, also a noun, so it's another form, another nominal form that can be used. So you have the strengthening of the storm, l'intensification de l'ouragan, de la tempête, etc. Continues to pound the southeastern Bahamas, and so continues to pound, be continuer à s'acharner sur, and the verb to continue requires a after it. Some verbs do not require anything like pouvoir. Je peux lire, nothing required. Then you have verbs like essayer, which require de. J'essaie de lire. Then you have verbs like continuer, which require a in French. So continuer à s'acharner sur, je continue à lire. And so you'll have that. In English, the infinitive, the full infinitive is always used. So you would say continue to read, continue to study. You will also say try to read, try to study. You will also say able to read, able to study. However, there is a form of able to in English that doesn't do that, and if you use the form can, you don't need the to. So you just simply say I can study, I can go, but if you use the form to be able to, then you need the to. I am able to go, I am able to do this, I'm able to cook. With can, it does not exist. I can study, I can cook, and so forth. So you would have continue to pound the coast, continuer à s'acharner sur le littoral, la côte. So s'acharner sur is the word that you want for pound in this particular case. The next thing is as of the 2 p.m. advisory, selon l'alerte de 14 heures. Alerte, une alerte is an advisory. So selon literally means according to, and so according to the 2 p.m. advisory, selon l'alerte de 14 heures. The storm was moving toward the northwest. La tempête s'évacuait vers le nord-ouest. Or you can say l'ouragan, if you're speaking of the hurricane. L'ouragan s'évacuait vers le nord-ouest. So s'évacuer vers, to move toward. The storm was moving toward a particular direction, so you would say s'évacuer vers cette direction-là. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening.